Hi, I'm Susan with Prairie Quilt and Fabric Shop in Lenexa, Kansas, and today I have Bernice Duffy here to show us how to do the heart pot holder pattern. And there are complete instructions in here. They work very well, but Bernice has come up with a technique to make it just a little easier and more precise, I would say. But I want to show you some of the things that we have here. And you can do them in so many different colors. They take fat quarters. 3 fat quarters will make 2 pot holders. Here's a patriotic one, here's a Christmas one. We have a fun, bright, colorful one. And then these fall ones as well. So if you got 3 fat quarters, you could do
2 pot holders before bindings.
Yeah. Two pot holders.
4 bindings.
4 bindings. Okay. All right. And so what do we got?
Well, first of all, I have to apologize to Susan for telling her that I looked at the pattern and said, I'm too lazy to do it that way. So I came up with a method. I start like I'm going to do surgery. I have my 3 pieces, the 2 pieces of batting, and then the piece of Insulbrite for each of the pot holders. And I fix my my binding and also the inserts for the hearts. Then I like to lay the fabric out. This is a fat quarter, and I put the small ones on one and the large ones on the other one. And then on the small ones, I just cut out around them, and I'm finished with that. On the large ones, I take a Sharpie pen, go all the way around my pattern so that it's all marked.
Okay, you see that in there? The markings on there? Okay.
Then I make my sandwich. Make sure that when you do that, you check to be sure that your heart is going to go all the way through both of those pieces of fabric. From experience, I can tell you it's not fun to tear that out. So then you're going to go around it in a basting stitch and then put your center marking in.
And the center marking is done with what? Like a friction pen or?
You can use a friction pin, yeah, or a chalk marker, whatever. Then you're going to take your small hearts with your piece of batting in there and a top stitch down the center of it. Place it on your pot holder and then sew around at about 1/8 of an inch. There's a twofold reason for that. It flattens that out, so when you put the binding on, the binding's going to go nice and smoothly, but also it'll hold the 2 pieces together. I always put the binding on the wrong side. Sew it all the way around, flip it over, and top stitch. Make sure that your bobbin thread is the same color as your back part of the pot holder so that the seam won't show. When I do my bindings, I do them 2 1/4 inch, but I like to start it first with the little 1/8 inch stitch that goes until you get past that point, and then fold it back and then sew it all the way around. When you get it on, I like to clip right in here on the binding. It just makes it lay nice and flat. When I start my bindings, always use the edging that goes this way. If you're wondering if you've got it right, put it down, and as you go to put it on your pot holder, you'll see this little place. So when you come all the way around on your binding, let's say we've already sewed here, you're going to get around to here, and you're going to be able to slip that right in there. You don't have to fight with it to put it together. And then just flip it over, use your Wonder Clips, hold it in place, and put your binding on.
And that goes around there really nicely. The binding is bias.
Yep, it is bias.
And you want to be careful not to stretch it as you're sewing it, because if you do, that'll make the whole pot holder curve in.
when I get finished, I always steam them really well, and they'll just lay out nice and flat. I've probably made 200 of these things, and I like to do them about 10 of them at a time. They're really fun to make, and they're a great gift.
And just think of all the fun fabrics you can do these with. And we do have kits here, or just pick up fat quarters.
Also, like if you make an apron, you can get 2 potholders out of all those extra pieces if you just cut carefully.
Yeah.
We don't want
Right.
to throw any fabric away.
And then sometimes you have, do you have fabric left over from the pot holders that's usable?
Uh-huh.
I've taken the extra fabrics and cut it up into 2.5-inch squares and then sewed them together to make a little pot holder with squares.
I do those too.
Yeah. So,
I wouldn't say any questions. I didn't know nobody's going to ask any questions.
just wanted to show you one more. We have here this little box that we made with the scallop baskets pattern. She also made pot holders to match it, so they could go in there. So you could just have something like that in the kitchen, ready to go. They also make nice trivets on the table if you want to set a hot dish on it. It protects the table really well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.
Happy sewing.